everyone, and welcome to my podcast. In today's episode, I will share a little bit about someone I'm really inspired by, which is James Jones, aka Notorious Cree. When you hear the word influencer, you'd usually imagine someone that entertains you or promotes trends, but James Jones is different. He uses his influence to showcase his heritage and educate many people. Now, let me begin by asking you a question first. Can a single dance impact the way that millions of people view Indigenous culture? Now, after reading about James Jones, I believe that the answer is yes. James Jones is a native from the Tall Cree First Nations in Alberta, Canada, and is a member of the Cree Nation. When he was a young child, he began learning traditional hoop dancing from his community and family. This originally was an attempt at connecting to his culture, but developed into a passion for him. Nowadays, James is a celebrated hoop dancer, motivational speaker, educator, and beloved popular social media creator. In his various forms of social media presence, he is able to reach millions of people through platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube to educate and share Indigenous traditions in creative yet engaging ways. James has danced at some of the most prestigious events globally, such as the Winter Olympics, the Juno Awards, the Pan Am Games, and Coachella. These performances has helped bring in Indigenous dance and culture to a vast global audience and show to many that Indigenous traditions can also be mainstream and belong on the world stage. But the greatest accomplishment of James is not only where he performs, but rather how he makes an effect on other people. Through workshops, keynote and motivational speeches, and social media, James inspires others to reconnect with their Indigenous heritage. He shows his audience Indigenous music, dance, and Indigenous teachings while busting stereotypes. Rather than spreading misinformation about Indigenous people, James prefers educating other people with positivity, pride, and authenticity. His influence extends beyond entertainment. He inspires the youth to embrace who they are and reminds everyone that Indigenous cultures are still alive and still thriving today. Much like other Indigenous peoples, James has experienced a lot of racism and stereotypes. All throughout history, Indigenous groups have been misrepresented and misunderstood. James does not use those experiences as a reason to be discouraged, but instead uses them as an inspiration to educate others. He believes that sharing cultures can create understanding. He believes that every performance and every video becomes an opportunity to replace any ignorance with knowledge and any prejudice with grounded respect. Personally to me, discovering James Jones helped me understand that social media isn't just about fun. It's a tool that can educate other people to make positive change and progress against an issue or cause. In this regard, my mind was brought to one of the lessons we had in the course. According to Isaac Murdoch, we should find the beauty in Indigenous cultures instead of focusing solely on the hurt and pain that our Indigenous communities and ancestors have historically faced. James Jones perfectly does that. James reveals the beauty and strength of Indigenous cultures through his traditional hoop dancing content and uplifting content of Indigenous cultures. After researching about Notorious Cree, I have a much greater appreciation for Indigenous traditions and for hearing Indigenous voices. His life and story reminded me that learning about different cultures helps all of us become more understanding, respectful, and compassionate people, and also allow for diversity to be more normalized and accepted, especially in a time where many are feeling culturally isolated. In conclusion, James Jones proves that one person can truly make an impact. Through his love for hoop dancing and dedication to spreading his culture through his art form, he has touched the lives of millions of people worldwide. He demonstrated that traditions aren't just a part of history, but rather are something that continues to inspire, grow, and bring people together in any part of the world, even today. I hope that James Jones' story will motivate you to do some research on your own and encourage you to deeply learn more about Indigenous cultures, support Indigenous creators, and appreciate that beauty that is found in traditions that have been passed down from generations to different generations. This is your host, Anne, signing off. Thank you for listening to my podcast and the episode, Sharing Cultures, Changing Perspectives, The Life of Notorious Cree, aka James Jones.